Hey guys, and welcome to Film Artsy, your #1 source for all things films and movies. And with the brand new Suicide Squad movie finally releasing, fans are really excited just because of the all-star cast that's associated with this film. And rightfully so. The cast members are equally talented and hilarious both on-screen and off-screen, so we thought it'd be fun to take a look back behind the scenes and see some of the funniest moments and bloopers from the cast members in this movie. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So to start things off, it's always fun whenever we get to see the cast members from a movie, especially one like the Suicide Squad, answer some interesting questions. Like for instance, the cast here was asked who was most likely to do their own stunts, and the answer seemed almost unanimous.
Margot.
Margot.
Who does their own stunts? Easy. Margot.
Margot. Without a doubt, it is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She's incredibly athletic, the stunts and fight choreography.
But we can even look at other instances of questions like who would the actors from the Suicide Squad prefer to have back them up in a fight?
King Shark. I mean, there's not even a question about it.
King Shark.
Yeah, I'd say King Shark as well. Yeah, King Shark.
New friends.
Oh, King Shark.
King Shark.
Peacemaker.
Another funny moment that we recently got to see actually was when some of the cast members alongside James Gunn went onto Jimmy Kimmel Live, which had guest host Anthony Anderson, and John Cena just showed up fully in character, which was absolutely great.
John Cena and director James Gunn.
In another interview, we saw some of the cast members actually have to answer a question regarding the Marvel Cinematic Universe and which character they think should join the Suicide Squad. And Courtney's response was pretty unique and got some shocks from his co-stars.
It would have to be a Marvel villain, right? We'd have to go Marvel villain. So let's go with the Vulture.
I would say Quill.
Fuck Marvel.
We've seen the cast members answer the question which actor from the Suicide Squad is actually most like their own character.
Captain Boomerang is kind of just a heightened version of Jai. I don't know if he'd be offended with me saying that, but...
Can't be too, self-absorbed, but I honestly think the answer is me.
Flula and Javelin thank God they have different hair.
And between Harley Quinn or Bloodsport, who would be the better partner in crime?
Would you rather have Harley Quinn or Bloodsport as your partner in crime?
I would say Bloodsport. I think I would say Harley Quinn because I think I would be laughing a lot. The problem is that I wouldn't be sure if she would get crazy and kill me. Yeah, that's the only problem with Harley. Bloodsport has a lot of good stuff.
Probably Harley. Well, I just couldn't turn my back to her because she's proper psychos.
Okay, then some of you may have heard of this story already, but there is actually a petition for the city of Edmonton to rename one of their buildings the Nathan Fillion Civilian Pavilion. And this is already a funny enough petition, but some of the cast members from the Suicide Squad actually reacted to this petition, and it's pretty great.
Petition to make building in Edmonton's new park named the Nathan Fillion Civilian Pavilion.
I'm intrigued. I'm excited. I'm eager to watch how this story plays out.
That is so funny. I 100% support this completely, and I really, really hope you succeed in this mission, Edmonton. I believe in it.
Where do I sign this? Like now?
In another interview, we actually got to hear Nathan Fillion's reaction to this and what he thinks about having to bear the responsibility of having an entire civilian pavilion named after himself. We can also see some of the other cast members and James Gunn even talk about the possibility of a Nathan Fillion Civilian Pavilion.
There needs to be a Nathan Fillion Civilian Pavilion somewhere, and if it exists in Edmonton, it's far enough away that it doesn't have to be too close to my house.
Okay, there's some more funny moments coming up, but real quick, we just want to give a huge shout out to our DC Thursday winner. If you guys didn't know, every single Thursday, we ask a challenging DC-related trivia question over on our community tab. tab. So if you want to have a chance to have your comment featured right here on a video, make sure you head over to that page, make sure you're subscribed, and answer our questions on Thursday for a chance to have your comment featured right here in one of our videos. Okay, let's go ahead and jump back into this. We've seen this interesting reaction where some of the cast members got to debate, if it really was even a debate, who would win in arm wrestling.
Peacemaker, John Cena.
The five knuckle shuffle, John Cena's on the spot.
Well, considering John's arms are bigger than everyone else's legs.
And also in another interview, we've seen Margot Robbie talk a little bit about her pet rat, which is kind of interesting. But first, we wanted to give a quick reminder, we do have a really awesome Instagram page that updates you guys on everything happening Marvel immediately. So if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, check it out, link in the description. There's also a ton of really awesome memes and other things that are posted on there. So make sure you guys are following that page. And let's go ahead and jump into this story.
Had a pet rat, and it seems like your pet rat has a drinking problem.
Yeah, that's your rat.
Care to explain to us about this rat you have here, and what's his name?
His name is Rat, and when we shot Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad, Mr. J gave me a rat, and he became a beloved pet. We called him Rat. He liked beer and bath time.
Then in another interview, we actually got to see the question brought up in regards to a zombie apocalypse. Would you rather have Ratcatcher 2 or Rick Flag as your alliance person in your group?
What a question to ask these two people, because if Joel doesn't want his own self with himself, essentially he's wishing death on himself. His answer has to be Rick Flag. You painted him into that corner. I'll take Ratcatcher because I can. But he can't choose anybody except Rick Flag.
It was a very meta question.
We actually got to see some of the cast members talk a little bit about some of the most surreal moments being in the cast for a movie like this. For instance, Idris Elba talked a little bit about what it was like with how they built one of these really interesting sequences.
Where Bloodsport is like crashing down through this massive building, and James Gunn really sort of built that sequence. It wasn't CGI, it was very much real sequence where the set collapsed from floor to floor, and I was harnessed in and going down and down.
We did get to hear some of the cast members talk a little bit at who is most likely to do a perfect take, and James Gunn gives some credit where credit is definitely due.
Nobody.
Idris Elba.
John Cena.
Viola Davis, she's an incredible actor, and she just comes out of the cannon hard every time.
Also, the cast members were asked the question as to who they would share a studio apartment with if they had to pick between The Thinker or Peacemaker.
It's a studio, it's very small. I will also say The Thinker because there will not be room for a toaster, but I imagine I can place some sourdough on his scalp, wait a few seconds, and it's hot and piping.
Peacemaker's very tidy. He wears very clean white pants and he takes care of. He'd probably be, in all honesty, think Peacemaker would be a pretty good roommate from a responsibility perspective.
We also got to hear Margot Robbie talk a little bit about some of the biggest action sequences from the Suicide Squad.
Water that looked like the ocean with a wave machine and giant explosions going off all around me like I was in Apocalypse Now. That was completely surreal and incredible and day one. So it was just like we dove in head first.
And then lastly, this one was really interesting, but the question as to who is most likely to know everything about the DC universe. And the actor that ends up getting this title is definitely one that is super underrated, but has been in so many massive projects, whether it's a recurring character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or what he gets to play as in the Suicide Squad film as well.
Who's most likely to know about the DC Universe? Well, I hope that's James Gunn. Dave Dastmalchian also. Let me get an honorable mention.
David is the answer. Sorry, just David? Should I just say David?
David Dastmalchian is a comic book disguised as a human being.
Dave Dastmalchian is like the biggest comic book nerd out of the group.
So what do you guys think of this upcoming movie? Are you looking forward to it? Have you seen it and enjoyed it so far? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on for more videos like this uploaded every single day of the week. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video.